Hey Yardners, what's up? It's Destry. It's a nice evening here in the Pacific Northwest. Today I'm going to be tackling a project that hopefully will go quick and easy. Sometimes the projects you think will go quick and easy don't, so I'm crossing my fingers that this one will. I'm going to be transplanting some really pretty rosemary topiary plants today into some prettier pots. So let's get started. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you might have seen the video where I actually planted up these topiaries. They were teeny tiny and I planted them into these plastic pots and they've done pretty well. They've done pretty well in these pots, but now it's just, I would like to get them into something a little prettier. I'm taking off this gravel while I'm chit-chatting with you. I will link that below where I just kind of talk about how you can take pretty inexpensive plants from like the Home Depot or, you know, like what's the other one? Lowell's or something like that. And you can, you know, kind of find specimen plants, boxwoods, topiaries, or I'm sorry, rosemaries, things like that. And you can kind of make them into topiaries by finding a leader stem and just kind of trimming them down. So again, I'll link that video if I can find it for you. And in that video is when I kind of started these. So they've been in these pots for about a year, and I really just wanted to get them into some more attractive pots. To the Home Depot, and I got these two terracotta pots. Now, in hindsight, I maybe should have picked plastic pots because terracotta has a tendency to break over the colder winter months. It can crack, but I just thought, you know, I just wanted something kind of pretty. So even if they end up cracking over the winter, they weren't very expensive. They were on sale at the time I purchased them. So I did top dress these with a lot of gravel and stones here. So I'm just sort of taking that off the top before I go pulling these out. And I'm not sure how root bound these are going to be. What I have noticed at this is that they are becoming, what do they call that? Aerobic. Where they won't like retain any water. So I think that's a good sign that they might be pretty root bound and pot bound. Now the other reason I'm doing this is because this pot in particular, if you can see, has a big giant hole in it. So it's just not very attractive, and I just wanted something a little different for these. So I'm gonna see if I can just kind of loosen them up here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how root bound these are. I still have my hory knife. And as I'm filming this, my microphone is running out of batteries. My phone is running out of batteries. And I just got off work and the sun is going down. So maybe not the best time to tackle this project. Ooh, this pot is cracking. But you know, sometimes you just have to get after it. And when I got off work today, I really felt like I wanted to spend some time outside. All right, there we go. All right, so that's kind of what I expected. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's really, really root bound here. So I could do a couple things. I think what I'm gonna do is do a little trimming on the root ball. I think technically they call that root training, because this is the pot size that I have. This is the plant I'm trying to put in. So you can see it's a little not the right size. But I think if I do a little bit of root trimming or root pruning, hopefully I won't hurt the plant too much. I mean, the other thing I could try to do is just plant these in the ground somewhere, which I've thought about. And now that I'm looking at this, yeah, I think I can make this work. We shall see. We shall see. Get rid of some of that new dirt. So I'm just going to take my hory knife and start to kind of shave off the corners and see if I can get this more in a round shape to fit in this pot. And then we'll see how the height looks. So I'm just kind of taking these edges off. These plants have gotten really The trunk of these have gotten a lot thicker though. So I think I'm just going to go here on the bottom and just kind of cut that bottom part of the root ball off. And do a little root pruning, they call this, okay? So it's fall. I still have several weeks before my first frost, so I think this is going to be a good time to do this kind of thing to this plant. You know, it's got plenty of time before winter truly hits to kind of recover a little bit. Okay, so I don't want to take too much off here. I want to kind of see what I've got going here. So that's looking a lot better. Now, it still could be that I might have underestimated how big these are, but I'm going to try to make these pots work if I can. That's still pretty tight. I'm going to go down just a little bit further with my root pruning. And it's just one way to sort of keep in check the size of your plants as well, especially something that you're trying to grow that's more of a dwarf plant or a topiary size. Again, I don't really want this thing to get huge. Okay, now I'm going to be a little careful. I don't want too much more because a little bit more off the bottom, because I want to take it down by probably no more than a third. But this is how, like, if you see those potted topiaries that are just, you know, they look like a giant specimen tree, but they're like small and dwarf. That's how they keep them small, is they root prune them every once in a while. It's the first time I've tried it though. All right, there we go. Now it's fitting like I want it to. Good. And now I'm going to check my microphone to make sure you can still hear me. Ooh, I'm running out of battery. So now I'm just going to go ahead and fill this one up and get started on the second one. Now, in hindsight, I might have gotten one size up of a terracotta pot, but you know, you can't have too many big giant pots in your yard. Good. Okay, so that one is done. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on this one. Now this one's a little different because I actually took two main stems here and I kind of twist them around each other. So I'm thinking about untwisting them and seeing if I can actually separate these and make two topiaries out of them. So hopefully you can see that. See that? So I think I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. Now they're going to be a little lopsided and I'm probably going to have to trim them down a little bit, but I think that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to separate these a little bit more once I pull them out of here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to get in there. Now I don't know if I kept these together because they, you know, are the mother plant is one and the same. I think it is. But I think I can get in here and split this. Before I do that though, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to root trim this and back this up so you can see. I'm going to have a lot of mess to clean up here. I probably should have put down one of my messy mats. And I got to check I think my mic's still working. Also, I am doing this while the plant is dry. I would not have wanted to deal with a muddy plant, so I did not water this ahead of time. Okay, now I think what I can try to do is unmarry these guys here. Probably should have done this at the beginning of summer, but that's okay. They've put on a lot of growth this summer. That's part of the reason I'm kind of tackling this. All right, here goes nothing. going to be very happy with me, I don't think. All right, it's a little risky. It's a little risky. Make sure. Oh yeah, I've got it. All right, here we go. Look. Untwine them from each other. Look at that. All right. Actually, I think these will be so much happier to be away from each other. They were like conjoined twins or something. All right, I gotta take a little bit of this dirt out. And now I need to find another pot. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Okay. I'll make sure this one is seated okay. It's a little off. It's needing more support from something, so I might have to stake this one. But maybe when I get it watered in, it'll be fine. All right, well, I finished repotting them. I got 3 topiaries instead of 2. I'm pretty excited about that. Let me flip the camera around. I'll show you how they turned out. All right, here is the finished product. I went ahead in this area of my yard, I ripped out a bunch of snapdragons that I had there that were just all powdery mildewed, and I moved my evergreen over here in the big pot. I'm planning to underplant it here, but it's looking so good. It's been in the shade all summer, so it's gonna be happy to have more like fall sun. And then here's how they turned out. This one is definitely the star of the show. You know, this one was probably the best one to start out with. This one, you know, these two are the ones that were kind of entwined together, and they're both a little funky, like they're a little lopsided and weird, but that's okay. I still think they look kind of cool. And it's definitely something different to look at here in this flower bed. Now I have a bunch of bulbs planted in there, so I'm not going to do anything else there as far as a fall planting. So it still, you know, has a nice look for the fall season and creates a nice focal point. And I think the plants are going to be happier, even though I did cut a lot of the roots out. I think they're going to have some fresh soil, and hopefully they'll be happy for the winter months. Well, now my phone is officially going to die, so I got to stop filming and go back inside. But thanks for hanging out with me in my Oregon yard tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you need me, I'll be doing some gardening. I'll see you next time. Bye.